Chuck Schumer encouraged Trump to declassify these secret government archives related to UAPs. Many people obviously given support to that, but I've seen many in the scientific community come out and argue for disclosure. So what is your opinion on disclosure at that scale?
Well, I would, if the government has materials or information that address the question of whether we have a neighbor in our cosmic neighborhood, this is not a matter of national security. This is my day job. And it's not the government's job to keep it secret, to keep it under wraps, for the same reason that the Vatican was not supposed to put Galileo Galilei in house arrest. In 1992, the Vatican admitted that Galileo was right. That was 350 years after he died. And, it was a bit late. It was 2 decades after humans reached the moon. And suppose we were in the same structure, societal structure, as during the days of Galileo, where you would have engineers working at NASA and designing a spacecraft that is aiming to get to Mars, and we would believe these engineers would be Catholics, very religious in their faith, and they would accept the doctrine, and they would assume that Mars must be orbiting around the Earth. What would happen then? We would keep shooting rockets and never reach the destination. So my point is, nature is under no contract to make us happy. So we are not at the center of the universe. That is disappointing, of course. I mean, we would rather be at the center of the universe, but we should accept that, because once we adapt to the reality, we can take advantage of it and reach our goals. If you insist that reality is your wishful thinking, then you will never be able to adapt. So if we have a neighbor, it's better to know about it, and all humans should know about it. Whether the government has materials or information that indicates that, I don't know. But I would highly encourage them to reveal it, because, they need the help of scientists like myself in order to figure it out, if they do have it. It's possible that they have a retrieval and reverse engineering programs from crash sites that is aimed at collecting debris from equipment that was manufactured by adversarial nations. You see, that's the main idea, and they would not admit that. It's possible that they have classified data which is used in order to figure out what adversarial nations are doing for espionage, in which case they will never release it, in order not to let other nations know what the US knows. But also, they will not release it because data was obtained with classified sensors. So, and finally, the most important reason that they keep it under wraps is because of, if they were to say that there are objects they don't understand, it will demonstrate weakness of the intelligence agencies if these objects were manufactured in other countries. And so they prefer not to release the information, not to expose their inability to fulfill their job. So for all these reasons, it's quite possible that the secrecy results from just issues related to national security. And there is nothing really extraterrestrial in the data that the government collected. But there were testimonies under oath in front of the US Congress that there is actually evidence for superhuman intelligence. And in that case, I would very much like to see it. So I would be very interested in if this subject got more exposure in this administration. Definitely.
Yeah,